What's up, Eagle Nation? Joseph Swanson here with head men's soccer coach Gavin Penny on beautiful Boucher Field. Welcome, Coach.
Thank you.
Days away from your season opener. What's the energy level surrounding your team right now, and how has preseason been going so far?
Yeah, well, there's definitely a buzz. There's always a buzz when we kick off preseason, get the new players into the fold, and old players coming back, seeing each other again, and you kind of bring up those memories from last season, which was obviously months ago now. So certainly great to get everybody here, get the ball rolling, kind of get ourselves back to the way we were months ago, and hopefully we can get a good strong start here and perform even better this season than we did last.
So you got to take advantage of the NCAA rule every 4 years. You could take an international trip. Recently just got back from Portugal. How did this trip prepare your team for the season? And then a bigger one is, how did this help your team bond?
Yeah, well, team camaraderie is definitely a key point. To get away from campus, just be together, in an area where, maybe they don't have internet or their cell phones don't work. And so it really forces them to kind of get together, be around the pool, go to the beach, and just spend time with one another, experiencing a different culture in a different place. Right. Certainly, that's obviously a big piece of it. But, being able to train on another facility in a different area, and the quality of opposition that we played against, the two academy teams, one in particular was very strong. It's great for us to play against teams that we don't see traditionally, given our geographic location. Can be challenging, so to get out there and play against quality opposition was definitely helping us in our preparation.
So recently picked as the top seed in the North Atlantic Conference East Division. How do you think this team can make that jump from taking that number one seed and turning it into a championship?
Yeah, well, certainly keeping players healthy. I think the mentality, last year, a lot of new players, young players, who were adapting to the college level, in the United States, and the way that the game is played here is very different than many of what our Europeans would know over there. So I think now that they know what to expect is certainly part of it. They know what's expected of them in terms of taking care of their bodies, treatment, and just rotation, because the season is just very tough. Playing sometimes back-to-back games every 3 days. There's a lot going on in a 10-12 week spell. So I think just keeping people healthy, and the fact that the guys now know what's expected in order to become champions. Hopefully this year we can build upon what we had last season.
What are you most excited about heading into the season? And with that, what has been your message to your team?
Well, again, just that we haven't lost a lot. Yes, we did lose Jordy, who was, our North Atlantic Conference Player of the Year. But in terms of what we lost, I think we've gained tenfold in terms of different types of players that can play in that area, maybe players that are more suited better to the role than what we want out of our players. And so, I think for us, the excitement is the quality of players that we have, the fact that we were able to keep most of the team together, and that's been the message. The message is that this is a group that already knows each other. We've brought in players that are able to compete. They're learning the game the way that we want it done, and they don't see any reason why this program this year could not make history.
Okay. Lastly, tough schedule to start the year. How do you feel the early part of your schedule is going to prepare you heading into a taxing conference schedule? And was this in your thoughts when you created your schedule earlier?
Yeah, I mean, scheduling is such a crazy, tough part of the job here, especially at Husson, given our geographic location. So part of it's what we were dealt with. The conference gives us obviously our conference schedule, and we try to build around that. But ultimately, this team doesn't fear anyone. They'll put their boots on and play against anyone. So, certainly there's going to be better opposition games and lesser opposition games, and that's part of the management of the overall season. But certainly, as you mentioned, we've got some stronger teams up front, and there'll be some good tests for us in terms of learning what works and what doesn't, on top of what we already know. But again, we're excited about it, more than concerned about it. We think that we've got enough to win all of our games, and it'll just be interesting to see whether or not we can get off to that strong start. Being that the first two conference games away to Farms and home to Thomas, we know is going to be two tough challenges in our conference, and we're either going to come out of that one way or the other, which will determine the rest of the season. So the boys are aware of that, and hopefully we can get off to a strong start.
Well, it's all the questions I have. I want to thank you for joining me today. Wish you the best of luck heading into your season. Eagles open up September 1st on the road at Plymouth State. Thank you.